Hi Scorpio, this is your Valentine's weekly forecast from the week of 8th to the 14th. So these forecasts are coming out on Wednesday. So just a quick note that I'm changing the format. So instead of like 3 cards per week, I'm coming up with 5 plus the base card, which is the bottom of the deck. And of course the runes are not going to be separate anymore because I was like messing up and you're working on this like late at night, and I really want to be able to kind of like come up with a message that is like more concise. At the same time, dailies are not going to have 5. Most likely they're going to have only 1 as a quick short message for a day, like I'm gonna live with this for a day, embrace it, enjoy the card, think what a card means, and come back later and just check the weekly and see how that actually was fitting into the bigger plan. Also, before I start, I want to thank everybody and send a big hug. You're getting a Valentine's hug from me for subscribing, sharing, and liking my videos. That means a lot to me. We are like almost halfway toward this goal of 500 subscribers, at which point I can probably get some airtime from YouTube and have a live show, half an hour or an hour. And my plan is to do that weekly, and when I hit this number, and that way we can meet somewhere and you can interact with me right there, and I can answer these questions for you and give you a quick answer and quick reading, and kind of like get this energy, get to know each other, have our little community. And of course this is going to be free, so please help me to get there, to be able to help you. And again, thank you so much for being so supportive up to this point. And also there is a free draw for a Valentine contest. It's a 10 cards reading, so enter that. The link is going to be at the end of this video. So let's start. Scorpio, I was a little bit worried. You did have kind of lots of, let's say, rough times lately, and I think last week I left it off closure at last with the rune of destiny, and I really wonder what happened with that. And I think we are still dealing with the aftermath, just looking in the cards, because what's the opening of the week? Well, let's say this opening of the week, you kind of like, aftermath is that you do feel locked out. You kind of like feel that you are the ones who is basically out in the cold, where the others are there in the warmth and celebrating. And even the second card over here kind of like confirms that could be some kind of like 3-party situation where you just felt you just kind of like didn't get the prize. And that's why you're starting the week a little bit guarded. If that was divorce, which kind of like was feeling like previously, you did get some kind of like agreement that you're going to get what you actually want to get, and you managed to negotiate that. But still, without your partner, this kind of feels a little empty, because toys, after all, are toys and they have to be used. And what is the best use to use then with the loved ones? And that's going to be a theme of the week. You're going to have to learn how to basically use these toys, how to restart your life, kind of like put on the gas, and how to deal with that. The opportunities are here to really sort things out. This generally shows this person who is walking away from those 8 cups and looking for something else because they realize they lived in illusion, and it's really hard to walk away. And you know that you have to completely build something new, completely out of nowhere, out of thin air, and walking toward the moon, which is very deceptive, is like very scary. But I think the interpretation of this card in this deck is so much better, because you see the kitty listening to the shelf. So you're basically listening to the old things that worked. You're clarifying for yourself things that you liked, that would work. And even if you broke up with a partner, you are not going to be nostalgic. You don't have 6 of cups or 6 of pentacles anywhere. You have this. It looks like you are going to not look into memories with him or her, or anything that kind of like worked in your past. You're going to look into things that trigger you good feelings, things that trigger your relaxation, things that almost makes you want to be on vacation. This maybe is a vacation itself. So this is definitely opportunity to kind of like sort it out. So it's kind of will be this kind of like travel from toys to kind of like this spa and relaxation. And maybe that's what you're going to do this week. Go and give yourself some kind of spa treatment, be pampered. So this kind of toys, like you will feel like, I mean, like some of those toys are money as well, can be used. So you're no longer there in the cold, you kind of fucking doing it, you know. And of course, it tells you that things to embrace this week would be, hey, play with fire. Just completely enjoy it. It's like nothing wrong about it. For you, this is even something to embrace. And look at this, kitty even has the tail on fire, and it's going to get like his little paw burned. So and this is what happens. If it was a breakup, if it was something where you kind of selected this work, this didn't work, you know that everything new has to start playing with fire. But, you know, you're also going to have maybe still leftovers of the old issues. You're still going to have some kind of entanglement and some arguments. And, you know, I think, Scorpio, it was very hard for you because you have such incredibly strong personality to kind of walk away and just to allow the defeat. But you know what? Let me illustrate maybe better how basically this looks from the outside. Okay, Scorpio, capiche now? Please don't do that. When is the time, when you know, like this is the goal, right? Goal is to engage, and you need to engage. Whatever didn't work, it didn't work only because of him or her. You have a part of that responsibility, so you need to untangle yourself and do it really slowly. This is not exactly the task for you this week. For you this week, and this is also sort of like a restriction. You are not supposed to argue this week. Give yourself a break. Just like kind of like cut it out and start new. And start new in something that is completely not you. This is, you tend to be controlling. You have this dark and deep energy, and that's why people either love you to death or hate you. And you know, and you just like dwell on it and you enjoy it. You know, but here is telling you, hey, check it out. You know, burn yourself a little bit, you know. I dare you to burn yourself. I dare you to experience, you know, these things and try them, because they're not long forgotten. Sure, maybe they're here buried in a shelf, but you know what? Go and experience them, because look at how wonderful, like I'm an ending of the week. You're going from, you know, earth to fire, and the fire is the antidote to earth. What can be better than having a fire to melt all the snow and everything that you're feeling here? Such a wonderful ending. And you know, to round up this whole week would be this rune, you know, Algiz. I don't know if you can see it. Algiz is here in inverted state, but in any case it still means the same thing. It's ultimately connected to magical power. And this must be really appealing to you. It's like no wonder that this was like picked for, you know, Scorpio. It's a rune of healing and it's a rune of protection. But in inverted state it says that you have to put yourself first. You've been going through maybe negotiating. It was a breakup of a marriage. You were trying to get a good deal and trying to figure out what to do with the kids and how to make sure that you have all the necessities, and you just had no time for play. And this is telling you, put yourself first. You know, it is time for you. It is time to play. You know, right now, like I mean, all work and no play is never fun. So it is time for you to kind of like understand that maybe other people are, or haven't been, or they're not, or this could be you, sensitive toward a partner. But really, I think, you know, that you didn't receive, I kind of feel that it was you, given the rest of the cards, that didn't receive that support and sensitivity, that soft shoulder to cry from anybody. And, you know, if people don't give it to you, it kind of feels bad. But you know what? This is not the end. You have to give it to yourself to recuperate, you know, book yourself some kind of interesting trip, or, you know, see some interesting movie, meet some interesting friends, try to go out with different people, and, you know, understand that, you just cannot live through consequences, and you don't want to live with fights, that you are leaving these fights behind. These are your restrictions for the week, but please make them restrictions in your life. I'm not saying to avoid fights. Fights are good as long as they're productive, but they really, really don't want you to feel this way. So Scorpio, this is your Valentine's week. You are recovering, and you're recovering quite well, but start being playful. It is time to play. And yeah, enter Valentine's Day contest. It will be really nice to actually hear from you. And again, thank you for being on this channel. Please subscribe and like, and check the dailies, and I'll see you next week.